How's it going, guys? Good morning, good morning. We're back at it again with another video. Man, I've been so jacked to get started on the garage. So we're gonna be breaking ground today and clearing out the area where the garage is gonna be going. Something that I wanna talk about, if you're thinking about purchasing land and you're looking at different lots, one thing that I think is really important that may be overlooked is that you wanna start thinking about access, so like road access. How are trucks going to get to where your property is? Because you're probably going to be getting some type of deliveries at some point, whether they are materials, rock, whatever it is. You might have transport trucks or big kind of 5-ton flatbed trucks come to where your property is. So that's one thing that I think is really important to also be thinking about when you're looking at different lots. Now, for our specific situation, we live on a dead-end street, which doesn't make it easy for big trucks to kind of get down here because they have to be able to turn around as well. One thing about our property is that we actually kind of have a loop. So if a transport truck were to come down this road here and drive up towards where our tiny house is, there's actually a way for them to basically turn and come back down to the main road and then go back out. So with that in mind, while I'm going to be clearing out the area where the garage is going to be going, I'm also going to start widening the driveway a bit. So in this area here, it's not super wide, but I could definitely remove some of the bushes just to give us that extra kind of space for big trucks to be able to come by. Because I know specifically with this, we might have a transport come up here, but I know for sure that we're going to be having cement trucks come up here to pour the slab for the garage, amongst other things as well. So that's a good thing to keep in mind when you're looking at different lots. It's a look at what type of road access that you're going to be having. All right, so we've probably just moved up about 400 or 500 feet up the driveway. The tiny house, you should be able to probably see it kind of in the background there, but this is the area where the garage is going to be going. Now, we've kind of thrown around a number of different ideas of what we're going to be making the garage out of. Like at first I wanted to do shipping containers. Then as I looked more into it, I realized the difficulties of doing shipping containers. I thought maybe we could do like an earth bag garage. That would just be a tremendous amount of work. So what I've decided to do is go with a company called Versatube, and they manufacture DIY steel garages. So they have 2 manufacturing facilities in the United States. I know one is in Phoenix. And you can basically design the garage exactly as you want, whatever dimensions, exactly where you want the doors. And they've got the system to be able to manufacture that garage, put it on a truck, ship it to where you're at, and then you put it together yourself. And to me, that sounds like such an awesome idea. So that's the route that we're going to be going with the garage. Now, for the size of the garage, this is it's going to be big. It's going to be 85 feet long, and then the internal part of the garage is going to be 40 feet wide. And then on the one side of it, the south side, is we're going to have a 10-foot lean on. So the actual garage size is 85 by 40, but the total footprint of it with the lean on is going to be 85 by 50. So that is a lot of square feet, more than 4,000 square feet of garage space. Why that is important: A, rainwater catchment, solar panels, as well as everything that I want to fit inside of the garage. So I want it to be able to fit 2 vehicles, 1 tractor with all the implements, and then the thing that I'm really most excited about with the garage is actually having my own workspace, so having my own shop area. So I'm going to divide the garage into 2 parts. The one part where the cars and the tractor is going to go, amongst some other things that we're going to be putting in there as well, is going to be, it's going to be 60 feet long by about 40 feet wide. And then the shop part is going to be 25 feet wide or 25 feet long by 40 feet wide. And then the internal height, so the internal ceiling height, I want it to be 16 feet tall. That does seem pretty tall, but at the same time, what I'm thinking that I can do is actually create multiple levels in the garage. When you take into account the joist space, that would probably leave 2 levels that are going to be about 7 to 7.5 feet tall. So that is going to make the space that much more usable. What's going to be really nice about the garage is that all the rainwater catchment that we're going to need for our future main house will come from the garage. So because there's even more catchment surface on that roof than we have for the tiny house, we're going to have plenty of rainwater. So we're also going to have a ton of space for solar panels. So inside the garage, I want to, at some point, have 2 fully electric cars, and maybe some point in the future is have a fully electric tractor. So with all that electric charging that we're going to need, we're going to have a huge amount of panels, a lot of batteries, some pretty serious inverters and charge controllers. So it's going to be a huge solar setup. It's going to require a lot of investment up front. So I'm really excited for this garage because it's going to be like the heart center of our off-grid homestead. I'm really excited for it. Hannah's really excited for it. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to show it to you guys here on YouTube. So we're going to be clearing out a lot of space for the footprint of the garage. So we're going to be removing a lot of these acacia trees, and I'm not sure exactly what these ones are called back here. They're very prickly and not fun to deal with. Something else that is very abundant in this area are all the barrel cactus. So just from looking right here, I can see at least probably 5 or 6 of these barrel cactus. Now, Hannah and I were just at a nursery in Tucson, and these small barrel cactus were selling for $100 each. They're 95 bucks each. So a full-size barrel cactus would probably go for even quite a bit more. Something that I'm also seeing is I'm seeing some very small yuccas, and the yuccas, even at that nursery, they're between $150 to $250. I only see some baby yuccas, so they're gonna be easy to transplant. So what I'm gonna be doing today is just start by removing a lot of the acacias and some of these other trees here, or shrubs or bushes or whatever you wanna call them, and I'm gonna leave the cacti where they are, and then probably sometime next week, I'm going to transplant most of them back up to where our tiny house is and start putting them around our trees and our garden area there. And it's really kind of funny coming out here is like, maybe you look at a cactus and be like, oh, I don't know about those. But I think the cactus or the cacti are really freaking cool. There's something just very unique about them. A lot of these barrel cactus, they actually grow fruit on them. So I noticed that a lot of the coyotes in the area, they come around and they will pick the fruit off the barrel cactus because I see like the other end of it. There's like, it's like a yellow fruit, and then there's obviously like an end to it. So I see those little ends chewed up and just right next to the barrel cactus. And I know that the coyotes are coming around and eating them. So a lot of the wild animals in the areas, they survive on the barrel cactus, they survive on the mesquite pods. I know that they eat a lot of mesquite pods because we see a lot of coyote poop on our property here, and it's just full of the mesquite seeds. So it's really interesting to see kind of how the animals and how the nature works around here. And this is Luna, my little baby girl. And then behind me down the driveway, going down towards the tiny house, we might actually have to push that driveway a little bit more that way there, just to ensure that there's gonna be enough space on this side of the garage. It's all gonna make a lot more sense, definitely from some of the aerial shots that I show you, and just over time, you'll kind of see how everything is going to flow together. I've also consulted with Joe from Texas Rock and Canyon, which is a local business in Benson. He does a lot of site prep. He actually did the site prep for my neighbor's house, and my neighbor recommended him, said that he did a really good job. So Joe is going to be out here a few times to help me when I get a little bit closer to really kind of finishing things off. I'm going to be able to do a lot of the work myself, but he's probably going to come in at some point, fully level everything off so it's perfect to grade. And we're also going to be adding some AB mix to the top of the soil to create like a really solid foundation that the slab for the garage is going to be going on. So this garage is going to be a huge monetary investment, so I want to do it right the first time. I don't want to have to come back 5-10 years down the road and try to fix like a cracked slab, or maybe the ground is sunk in a spot. I don't want to have to be dealing with anything like that. So doing it right the first time so you don't have to do it again 10-15 years down the road. How's it going? How's your day going? All right, it is lunchtime. Oh yeah, these bagels are so good. So we're gonna put some of this eggplant hummus on the bagel. It is so good. Oh yeah. A few people have mentioned that they kind of missed when I'd show them my lunch when I was building the tiny house, because it would always be red lentil chili, but today we're not having red lentil chili. We're actually having it for dinner though. It's about 1 o'clock right now, so I think I'm gonna take the next hour, clean up what I've already dug up, and I have to do a little bit of maintenance on the tractor there, grease all the joints, and then I think I'm gonna call it a day because I've got a lot of other stuff to work on inside the house. Anyways, we're back at it full bore. Hopefully we can have this garage up in the next 5 or 6 weeks. The inside is gonna take a long time to finish. The main things that I'll focus on getting done ASAP will be getting the solar system on there done, and then also getting the shop area kind of started. The shop area is gonna have a lot of purposes, like I'm gonna be recording a lot of video courses in there, and obviously recording, videos for YouTube as well, because I've just got so many things that I wanna build and so many things that I wanna do. I've never actually had like a shop area. So it would be really nice to get some, some woodworking tools, some welding tools, metalworking tools in there, so I can start being a lot more creative with stuff that I build. Instead of always having to buy stuff, I'd love to start building, some of our own furniture and doing some really interesting projects. Like I've really wanted to try to take an ATV and convert it to all electric and just see if I can do it and see how that would work. Little things like that I've been thinking, I'm like, man, I really want to do that. So that's one reason why the shop area in the garage is so important to me, is because it's going to give me basically a creative outlet to have that space so that I can build inside of it. Awesome guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Talk to you soon.